Hello, welcome down to the den. I think I'm going to call this series Try It Myself.
There are some who call me Tim.
Affectionately called Tim, from the reference there, and then basically just random stuff that I decide to do and do it myself kind of things and or random stuff that I make for funsies. For this episode, I am actually going to be building a monitor stand that also has like a basket underneath the desk to like hold power cords and stuff like that, because I've been trying to Amazon look for one that is a similar setup and haven't found anything that I liked. So I have some scrap wood and a bunch of screws, and we're just gonna see what we get to. And for starters, I already have one stand for one monitor. It's 5.5 inches, and I currently have it on this adjustable monitor stand. So total would be, let's see here, 22 here. For both of those, and then for this one, probably gonna be 24 if I stuck it under this one. But I ultimately went with this one, and so I need to build a new stand for this guy. And for making things level, when this is all the way down, this one is adjustable one, and when this one goes all the way down, it comes out to 22.5. So I'm gonna make a stand that will make this total height the same as that one. So I'm going to need basically a 4-inch stand. Spare wood. Now, like any good survival RPG, I gotta gather my resources and see what I have available to try and build this thing, and I don't have enough material. Just kidding, I spent way too long drawing that just to almost immediately disregard it. Now at this point I am sizing up and sanding down a piece of an old desk that I have previously recycled, and I will be cutting and sizing everything on that bad boy. At this point I am still measuring and figuring out how to get my 4 inches, and as it turns out, it looks like I was looking at the wrong piece of wood the entire time. It's a little too long and skinny for me, but I know how to chop it up just right. And if you look closely, you can clearly see that I used to be a plumber. OnlyFans.com/BigBurlyBooty. Once I have my rough cuts, I start looking through what is essentially all my bits and bobs and nubbin pieces from previous projects, and just trying to sort them out and see what I could find that might work as walls and backing for the monitor stand itself, as well as a way to make a mesh basket to fit underneath the desk. It's right around this point I start to realize that my little 1x4s aren't going to work, and so I start messing around with the 1x1 inch, seeing how I can make that work, as well as cutting a little piece off and realizing, oh yeah, maybe if I want to make it a pass-through so I can stick cables or whatnot underneath the monitor stand itself. So what I end up doing is taking little nubbins there, creating some stands for it, and then cutting them and sanding them to size so that they're level, as well as getting me my 4 inches that I wanted. And to make everything flush, I'm just going to punch a slight hole into the wood so that you can have a little notch to set the screw in so it looks nice and flat on the desk. And for the pilot hole, I am just using a drill bit that's slightly smaller than the screw that I'm using so that it still catches, but I don't have to worry about the wood splitting since I'm using such small pieces.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
And then it's going to have On the back side, one of these guys hanging down from it, and then underneath will be a second shelf that I'll put the
Cool, babe.
yeah. So I need to. So I forgot to film it, but I did goof up at this point. The whole reason why I built this was so that I could fit my keyboard underneath the monitor stand to tuck it away while I'm using the desk, and it did not fit, like not in the slightest. So I did come up with a workaround though. At this point, I'm getting a pretty solid idea about what the actual monitor stand itself will look like, as well as what the basket underneath the desk will look like, and here's the final outline that I made. Using my new leg pieces here, I am going to attach them to the sides with some L brackets to make it all level, and then attach the back bracket. And now that both the leg pieces are attached, it's time to see how it fits, and keyboard fits underneath, and it's pretty dang level if I do say myself, although we did have some casualties along the way. At this point, everything else is just kind of plug and play. Here's a rough idea I was going to do for the basket, and here is what the final product now looks like, and this is how it will more or less just slide onto the desk with the
Smash cut to the over-the-top presentation.
And that's enough of that. Thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening, or just have a good day. See you, Internet.